We are already 50 years, one. Two, the implementation of the new economic policy has produced some good result in terms of developing the Malay the Malay group. I must say that there are policies that have been made, there are supports also. But it is not easy. I tell you, it is not easy because this is not just about economic reform. This is the reform of the society. And that's not easy because it involves people's attitude. And that is not easily changed. So we have to bear in mind. So it's not all economic alone, but it's more than economic alone. The social reform must accompany this. At the same time, we continue to address this to the people that this is the good that it can do to you. You have to understand. If they don't understand, if they reject it, we have a problem.
Do you think the people will really accept it?
Why not? But we have to work hard. We have to work hard. We have to convince that. If we can't convince that this is something that is acceptable, if we can't convince that this is good for you, of course, nothing will work. But when the policy is taken, a new policy is taken, we must know that people will always be thinking, evaluating. But we have to assist them to think. We have to assist them to think in the way that we want things to happen.
Now that Malaysia is rolling back these policies that gave preferential treatment to ethnic Malays, in hindsight, do you think it was beneficial or did they last too long?
Whatever we did, that was beneficial. But there's one thing I just forgot to mention to you, that within the Malay community, there is now an emergence of the middle class. There is now an emergence of Malay entrepreneurs, Malay executives. You want to talk about example, talk about Petronas. Petronas, we have a lot of Malays in Petronas. They could manage a company. They could manage a company.
And you think that this was a direct result of the Bumiputra policies?
Well, we've got favorable policy in terms of developing the Malay professionals. We provide them education, we send them overseas to the best universities. They came back and they became very good. This is what I call this valuable quality human capital. You need to give at the same time quality opportunities. If you give quality opportunities to somebody who's clever, he can make a lot of gains. So the emergence of the new Malay middle class today, the professionals in various fields, these are the people who can compete, and they will be able to compete. I believe they will be able to compete. But if you want to go on and say, okay, don't worry, I'll give you this, I'll give you that, I'll give you this, that's okay, fine, I don't have to work very hard, I can get it. But if they have to compete, I believe they can compete. And that's the reason why we must liberalize it. Before, under the Tun Razak policy, we got the equitable distribution of income. Yep. I am now talking, under the new situation, we must go for equitable distribution of quality opportunities. Equitable distribution of quality opportunities. You give quality opportunities, the chap who is educated will do a better job. But if you don't give quality opportunities, you cannot expect him to produce anything good. And it's the duty of the government to provide that kind of quality opportunities. So spread it out into other centers because we must grow. We cannot just see growth in this area and other places neglected. I can't have that. Yeah. And this is going on. The corridor is still there.
How concerned are you by the developments north of the border in Thailand?
I am very concerned. I am very concerned.
How destabilizing could this be to the region?
To predict, because it will affect the region. It will affect us. It will affect us. If this happens, I'm afraid that the Abad is going to be affected. If the Abad is going to be affected, I don't know how it's going to affect all of us.